Hi guys, welcome to Operation Crypto and this new video where we're going to take a look at my top 5 altcoins which I think are at great entry levels now. Bitcoin is reclaiming market dominance, and with that it is pulling the altcoins back, so there's some really great levels that we could look to either place some orders at or just market buy due to the current drop that we've had. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button and let's crack on. So welcome to the channel. As ever, this is in partnership with Cointelegraph Markets Pro, a platform I use on a day-to-day basis to get all my data and alerts. So go ahead and check it out. There's a full platform review on the homepage of my YouTube channel. So the first project I want to talk about, which I think will pull out some significant gains towards the rest of this quarter, is VECHAIN. There's not as many people talking about it. There was probably going back 6 months. It was a huge asset back then, and people talking about buying in. And ever since then, since that May dump, it's been pretty much going sideways, and we've not really had too much news, to be honest. But I think this is a sleeping bull. I think eventually we're going to get a breakout to the upside, like we did here. We had that falling wedge once we did hit that area of resistance. If you look at this trend line, this is a downtrend, and that's what we're still on. We came up to test it, and then we rejected our way back down to 8 cents. But zooming into a current price action, this is a daily time frame. I put this tweet out about 4 or 5 days ago. We had a rising wedge forming, and the potential was to pick some orders up at 10 cents. And with the shakeout that Bitcoin's had today, the rest of the market has been dropping down, and it's wicked all the way down to pretty much 10 cents on my nose. I did say 10.3 cents on a previous video and tweet, but we have dropped down to pretty much 10 cents on my nose, and that was pretty much bang on. For me, this is a great opportunity to buy now, because I think what's going to happen over the course of the next few weeks, Bitcoin is going to start pushing up to over 60k and targeting them the all-time highs. With that, the price of the US dollar pairs will naturally flow up as Bitcoin does. I know it's not a minute, but it will. And then when we start pushing up, we are going to at least claim all-time highs this year. And if you're looking at that from current prices, that's 168% to make just before we get there. And in my opinion, we will at least double to quadruple that all-time high. I'm talking around 75 cents, I reckon, towards the end of this year, maybe even higher. But let's wait and see what goes on. So if you're looking to buy, this is the time now. I'd still place some orders down here on my 618 around 9.4 cents. I think that could be a great area for you to potentially place some orders and load up down at that level. And then, I mean, I've obviously mentioned the all-time high. If you want to actually take some profit on the way up and accumulate the asset, look to sell around this region here, around 12.6 cents. It is that downtrend. It probably won't break through it first time. What it'll do is probably break to the upside, reject off it, and then it'll break through the second time and then push on. Probably get a retest of that trend before then we do start pushing up towards. I'm expecting probably late November, December, this asset will really start to move. So buying assets at current prices is a great time in my opinion. So that's that covered. If you look at a BTC pairing, it is down to an exact area I did mention previously. This is an area, this red line. If you look here, it was resistance there, and then we use it as support. And we've not been down ever since. And I did say if you're looking for buys on VECHAIN, 177 sats is a great buy. And that's where I will be buying now. We'll be placing some orders within this massive area of support. Just be wary, we've got some more support down here at 129 sats. So that's where it could go short term. The next project I'm going to cover is AUDIUS. This is the tether pairing daily time frame on Binance. I mentioned on a live stream earlier on that this is a huge cupping handle here, and by the looks of it, there's quite a lot of assets in this same scenario. We had that major rise back in between March and May, and then everything just sold off. We've had a steady accumulation back up to retest some ground, and then we've sold off. And this for me is just primed waiting for the breakout. I mean, if you look at it on the 3-day time frame, it looks a little bit better. Yeah, it's a bit better, isn't it? We're just waiting for a breakout now. We've got all these 3 daily candles in a row just dropping down. That line up the stairs there just shows that this is a downtrend, and for me, it just looks a great buy. It's come back down to this region here now at 178, and that's a key level of resistance here, support here. Let's mark those up: resistance, support, resistance. Then we use it as support here, support with that wick, and then look at how we've come back down to test it again, and it's pretty much bang on that moving average 50 now. So for me, I think this is a great buy. Fundamentally, it's a sound project. I mean, if we look at the let's have a look at CoinGecko and see where we're currently placed. I'm not looking at my portfolio. I'll show you what I've got there. And we'll look at CoinGecko, click at audio, and we can see that it's currently ranked 123 with a market cap of 784 million. So there's a long way to go for this project yet. I mean, it's got a solid use case, and looking at the price analysis and the price structure here, it is just primed, ready for a push to the upside, and I can see it's targeting here. So if you're looking for buys, 177, 178 is a decent buy, and even place some orders down here at 126, just in case the market did get a shakeout. But for me, I'm expecting a push to the upside very soon. Break out of this downtrend here, then go and attack this area of resistance here at around $3, $3.10. Once we flip back to support, we're going up to test this all-time high, up at around pretty much $5 on the nose, and then we can look at some further price action and have a look at some key levels where we'd look to take profit, because remember, things don't always go down, and we've got to look at taking profit on the way up. So if you're looking at some price predictions here, I've got one up here at this red line, $10.97, but we've got some other key levels. I mean, this market is still young, and I'm expecting another at least $2 to $3 trillion added into the market caps of crypto projects over the course of the next 6 months. So don't be thinking $20 out of reach, because in my opinion it's not. So that's the next project, audio. I'm not going to look at a BTC pair because most of the price action is predominantly happening on this USDT pairing. Asset number 3 is TERNOA, which is ticker CAPS, CAPS. If you've been following my channel for a while, I have talked about this for quite a few months now, and it is an asset that will be a parachain on the Polkadot ecosystem. It is an asset which basically has time capsules in the form of an NFT, but these time capsules are built on data transmission. So these store different types of data which can be unlocked or locked to a certain amount of time. For example, we have one called Death Protocol, which is basically a will, a digital will that is linked to local records and is imprinted on the blockchain, saved in an NFT on the TERNOA chain. It is a substrate framework chain, and for me, this is nothing like nobody's seen before. There's no other chain or no other project that is aiming to store digital NFT time capsules with data encrypted into them. So for me, this is going to be a great project, and it's still early. I mean, it's only, I think the idea was given to me around in February, and I think I did push a video out in February and March time, and then it's been live since. So the asset itself is great. You can see we had the listing was around June of this year, and then price action, we got that high, and then the market died off, and it is what it is. I think we had a few early investors selling, but for me, this is a great asset, and going forward into the next 6 months, I really think we're going to see some growth. The CEO is starting to get himself around. He's just been to Miami to a blockchain conference. He's currently in Dubai at a blockchain conference, so he's passing that word around about TERNOA, and for me, it is a solid project. If you're looking for buys, I've already marked this region up here at 10 cents. We've come down, rejected off 12.7 cents, and come to this first level, which is a Fibonacci at 382. If you're looking for some buys and you're thinking, right, I still want to buy a little bit lower, then look at this region down here at around 8.3 cents. That could be a decent area to buy as well. So for me, fundamentally, everything is strong on this asset, and I'm expecting a lot of growth. The market cap now is around $200 to $250 million, which is not that much really, considering the amount of multi-billion-dollar projects we have. And remember, Bitcoin is $1 trillion market cap, and I'm expecting some assets to be worth trillions of dollars in the future. Why can't TERNOA be one of those assets? For me, like I say, I'm bullish on the asset. I've been talking about it for a while, and I still think it is so undervalued. It is anything under that all-time high is a buy, but this is an opportunity now that the market is shaking out for you to buy some TERNOA, and that is the USDT pair. If you're looking to take profit, obviously got to look at this region at 14.6 cents. It's confluent area with that wick there, and that extension of that fib. So that's another good area where you could look to take. So that is a buy zone from 9.9 all the way down to 8.3 cents on caps. Before we move on to the last two assets, I would just like to make you aware that my Patreon is now up and running. This is a Discord server with daily analysis. Every day I post analysis on Patreon and also in the Discord server itself, but throughout that server there's lots of content. We've got educational content, daily market news and insights. Request a coin if you want me to take a look at a coin. I can check that out. Also unlock exclusive posts and messages, which I will be posting on this Patreon every single day. It is £10 per month, whatever your local currency is, and it's there if you want to get a more hands-on approach with my channel. If you like my content, a way to support me, and it's something there for you to at least check out if you wish. So that's that covered. Let's move on to the next asset. So it's CHILIZ, which is ticker CHZ. Had a really good run back in around March, and then we've been pretty much selling off ever since. Very similar scenario here, downtrending all the way down, and this is what we're looking to break out at some stage. But I love what this asset's doing. They basically create fan tokens for sports teams. They've already created some massive ones with like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain. Huge clubs which are getting their fans to use their assets as merchandise or just a way to spend at the club. I've heard that Messi is also getting paid in the PSG fan token too, and there'll be lots more to come. Once this ecosystem does start get booming, all of them clubs fan tokens assets will be part of that ecosystem of CHILIZ, and that will just grow and grow, and that's why I like it, and that's why I think it's massively undervalued. We have been up to the all-time high of 94 cents, and then it's been down ever since, and look at that downtrend is pretty much bang on thereabouts. Get that a little bit more accurate there, pretty much there or thereabouts. We double topped and then rejected, and it's just a good time to buy for me. I think it's dropped so much that it's just looking great. Just want to have a look at a couple of key levels. Obviously we rejected off that downtrend again. Let's have a look for some buys. If we go from the very bottom and move to the top, we've actually come down, used 618 as support, picked liquidity and pushed on. I would still target buys around 30 cents. I think it's a key level. If you look at this all the way through, look at this wick here, rejection. Sorry, support there, rejection here, all the way through rejection, and then support, should I say. So this is an area which I think is a natural psychological area of support, and it's bang on 50 cents, and that's an area I would consider a great buy. Just be wary that we could come down to test this region at around 25 cents, but for me, we have done that golden ratio retracement. Altcoins have had quite a significant shakeout over the course of the last 4 or 5 days now, and it's just another great opportunity. I think this asset, like I say, fundamentally is very, very strong. The price action has just been, I mean, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. We had a massive cup there, handle, slight breakout so far, but it's been rejected. So for me, a great buy, and I think it's one that you should hold on to, and that we will see some great gains over the course of the next 3 to 6 months. And last but not least, I never ever cover meme tokens or meme coins, but hear me out on this one. We have been up to 74 cents, and there's not been much of it in the news recently. Elon Musk stopped tweeting about it. There's not been so much hype as there was. What happens is, right, in the market cycles, what is happening now is Bitcoin is on the run. The next thing to go, other than Ethereum, in my opinion, will be DOGECOIN. It always happens all the time, and once it does start getting a bit of volume behind it and buying pressure, it really goes. And although I'm not a fan of the asset personally, you cannot deny that there is pumpermentals within DOGECOIN, and it happens all the time. There's so many people invested in this, mainly TikTok investors, but we'll not go there. But you will see a breakout on this, and like I say, it's not my cup of tea, but you will get that push upside. And always, it's been the instigator of a really big alt season and an alt run in the past, and I cannot see any reason why that would not happen again. So if you're looking for buys, we're at that golden ratio now at 22 cents. Seeing how the market goes, we may potentially get a drop down to 20 cents, but this could break out at any time, whether that's tomorrow or whether in the next 4 to 6 weeks. I do think it'll break out, and once it breaks out, it's going to break out hard. Like, look at this last time it did here. This is in April when alts really started to rally. Doge led the run. If you look back here, this was in January. Once Bitcoin started pushing out, Doge run hard. And it will happen again. You will see a big rise from Dogecoin at some stage. So it could be worth taking a risk on the doggy, buying in, holding on, and then you're going to get a push up to at least this region at 45 cents. Maybe, who knows, you might get a repeat of that run there, which could, let's have a look, see if we can measure that run. We'll go see if we can bar feed it. That bit there. So we could say, imagine a run like that again. That is not out of the question. It could push up to that 88% margin, depending where the price takes off from. But that's 5 assets which I think are quite undervalued and are fundamentally going to push, or just due to pure pumponomics, are going to break out at some stage. So that's going to do it. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button. I'll catch you next time.